Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video on the Gooners and Gloves Podcast channel. In today's video, it's going to be the 94th Gooners and Gloves Podcast, and I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and reactions to Christhian Mosquera officially joining Arsenal. It's done. Christhian Mosquera is an Arsenal player. As of today, Arsenal have made it official. Christhian Mosquera joins Arsenal from Valencia. Really exciting. A very good signing for Arsenal and one that I'm really happy with. So, as always, I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys my thoughts on the signing, the price, and essentially just everything to do with the Christhian Mosquera signing. Of course, Christhian Mosquera will now be joining the squad for the preseason tour in Singapore, and then of course for the two preseason games at the Emirates Stadium. So he will be joining the tour with the squad, which is obviously brilliant, and we're going to get to hopefully see some minutes from him. Even if he is, officially a backup option, hopefully we'll still get to see some minutes from him, and hopefully we'll still get to see him in action. So yeah, pretty much as always, I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts on the transfer. So without rambling on too much, let's go on and get into it. So first of all, we have to talk about the financials of this deal. I have to say Andrea Berta and Mikel Arteta give a round of applause because they absolutely smashed it with this deal. The financials of this deal are absolutely phenomenal. I'm so happy. Genuinely could not be happier with the deal. It's actually amazing. All in all, Mikel Arteta and Andrea Berta managed to keep the deal just under 20 million euros, which is absolutely fantastic. It's exactly what Arsenal have been wanting the whole time when trying to sign him. They were able to keep it for just under 20 million euros. So I think all in all, it's about sort of around like 15 million euros up front, which is about 13 million pounds. And then I think it's like 3 or 4 million euros in add-ons. I'm not fully sure, but I think it's about 3 to 4 million euros in add-ons and about sort of 15 million euros up front, 15 million euros being about 13 million pounds, and then 3.5 to 4 million euros being around 2 million pounds. So all in all, up to only a total of about 15 million pounds, just under 20 million euros, which is an absolutely fantastic deal for, a 21-year-old defender with plenty of La Liga experience and Spanish national team experience and a very solid player. To be getting him for under 20 million euros is absolutely phenomenal business. So I do have to say massive round of applause to both Andrea Berta and Mikel Arteta, because this is an absolutely phenomenal deal. Only, just under 20 million euros for, as I said before, a 21-year-old with loads of La Liga appearances to his name, playing for a solid team like Valencia, not to mention several national team appearances as well for Spain. So a very good deal for Christhian Mosquera. So that's the first thing I wanted to mention, is the financials of this deal. Andrea Berta and Mikel Arteta have absolutely smashed it. So huge round of applause to them, especially Andrea Berta, who of course was important in this deal. Of course, we knew that Christhian Mosquera only wanted to play for Arsenal. That was confirmed. Valencia officially tried to give him 2 separate contract extensions, but he politely turned them both down. He made it clear that he only wants to play for Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal statistically do have the best defense in the Premier League. Of course, we conceded the least goals last year, and also 2 seasons ago, and also last season. So clearly Christhian Mosquera is excited by the project. Not only that, but of course Gabriel and William Saliba is one of, if not the best centre-back partnerships in the league, and it's a really exciting opportunity for Christhian Mosquera to learn under them. He'll of course be the understudy for William Saliba on the right hand side of centre-back, but of course he'll be able to learn plenty from Gabriel as well. And obviously he viewed it as a fantastic opportunity to learn from both Gabriel and Saliba, play for statistically the best defence in the Premier League, and ultimately get to experience Champions League, etc. So really happy to have him on board. It's brilliant that he really wanted to play for Arsenal. Not only that, but apparently there were even like some Serie A clubs coming in for him as well, but he turned everyone down. He only wanted to play for Arsenal, and of course those are the sorts of players that I absolutely love, the ones that want to play for the club, want to play for the badge, and ultimately make it clear that they only want one destination. So that's the first thing I wanted to mention, is the financial side of it. I'm absolutely delighted with, as I said, for the Noni Madueke one, I did feel that we overpaid a bit, but in all fairness, in this deal we've absolutely smashed it, and we've got an absolute bargain for who I think is going to be a really good player. He's definitely a real talent, and I think he's going to be very special for Arsenal. Obviously, he's committed his long-term future. I think it's like 5 years to the club. So we got him loads and loads, only be about like 26 by the time the deal ends. So he's got so many great years ahead of him, and he's someone who has really good talent, and I just think it's so good. So yeah, that's the first key reason I'm really happy with the signing, is the financials. The financials are absolutely fantastic. As I said before, 15 million euros up front, which is about 13 million pounds, and then around like 3 to 4 million euros of add-ons, which is only about like 2.5 million. So all in all, phenomenal deal, under 20 million euros. So fantastic. Right, the next reason I'm really happy with the signing is because, of course, as I mentioned before, he will act as backup for William Saliba. Now, William Saliba is someone that we've desperately needed backup for so long. I know that the likes of Ben White, Urian Timber, etc. can play centre-back. I'm not denying that. Calafiori as well. However, these are players which have really, really good attacking threats. You know, we've seen them all play fullback, left back and right back, and their attacking threat is so good. They can get assists, they can drive up the pitch, they can make things happen. So, you know, it really would suck to have to limit their attacking potential by putting them at centre-back. But now, obviously, that no longer is needed. Now we've got Christhian Mosquera who can cover for William Saliba. Of course, in Gabriel's case, he always had Jakub Kiwior, who, to be fair, was absolutely fantastic last season when Gabriel got injured. And obviously, speaking of Jakub Kiwior, we don't actually know what his future at the club is going to be, so we'll have to find that out. However, with William Saliba, we didn't really have that option, you know. I mean, it always had to be like Urian Timber or Calafiori or Ben White filling in, which isn't a problem, and they are very good. However, in games where we were playing them at centre-back, we're taking away their attacking potential. Meanwhile, Mosquera is someone who likes defending, likes tackling, likes staying back, sitting deep. So it's really, really good that we've now got a good, solid backup for William Saliba. Not only that, but of course, the William Saliba contract extension talks are still ongoing. So at this current moment, we don't obviously know if he's going to extend or not. And with only 2 years left on his contract, of course, without him extending, and we don't know yet, he may extend. However, I'm very happy that Arsenal have taken the precaution and now have a very solid replacement in case worse comes to worse and William Saliba doesn't extend or is bought by someone else. Then obviously it just means that we've got Christhian Mosquera ready to fill in as the man, and that's just a really, really good thing for Arsenal to have. So that's the next reason I'm really happy with the Christhian Mosquera signing. He offers really, really good, solid centre-back depth. I definitely think that now Arsenal have like some of the best centre-back and just general defensive depth in the league now. I think we're definitely up there. We've got an insane amount of centre-back depth. Like, it's not even funny. It's not just centre-back, but also just defensive depth as a whole. It's just absolutely phenomenal now, and Christhian Mosquera is certainly going to add to that. So yeah, that's the next key reason that I'm really happy with the signing, is that he acts as a really, really good backup for William Saliba, which, as we all know, we've needed a William Saliba backup for so long. We've seen how detrimental William Saliba injuries are. We saw it last season when we struggled in games without him. Not only that, but of course we saw it in the 2022-23 season when he got injured, which completely collapsed our title race, when of course we had to play Rob Holding at the back, and then we started conceding more. So William Saliba is absolutely instrumental. So to have somebody like Christhian Mosquera not only covering for him but also learning from him as well, it's just going to be so good. And I think all the stuff that he's going to learn from Gabriel and William Saliba is just going to turn him into an absolute beast of a centre-back. He's already a great centre-back, but I just know that he's going to turn into a whole new level at Arsenal with the likes of Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, etc. all nurturing him and teaching him and really, really helping him develop into a fantastic centre-back. So that's the next key reason I'm really happy with the Mosquera signing. Up next is, of course, experience. You know, I know he's only 21 years old, so it sounds weird for me to be saying experience, but he's already got quite a lot of La Liga appearances. I think he's got like anywhere from, I don't remember the exact number, but I know it's about like, I think 75 to 90. It's like between 75 and 90. Sorry, I forget off the top of my head, but either way, whether it's 75 or 90, that's a really good amount of appearances in La Liga for only being 21 years of age, you know. Remember, La Liga isn't it, like, it's similar to the Premier League. It's about like 38 games a season or 40 games a season, however many it is. So to already have, you know, about 90 La Liga appearances to your name by the time you're only 21 and only having just turned 21, that's phenomenal. I mean, that's a lot of experience to have at only 21 years old. Not only that, but as I mentioned before, he has been capped for Spain and he has played for Spain and done well for them too. So definitely this is someone who does have experience despite only being 21 years old. And not only that, but let's not forget Valencia's a side which, you know, is like definitely more like, you know, a bit lower down the table. They're not like massively high up the table. So the fact that he's still been able to put up really good defensive numbers, the fact that he's really helped their defense out and ultimately has really done well with the one-on-one tackling is even more impressive and even more of a promising sign. Obviously, the fact that he's managed to do well defensively in a team that isn't necessarily high up the La Liga table, that of course is absolutely brilliant. So that's the next thing he brings to the team. He may be very young, however, he's very mature. He's obviously, you know, got a lot of La Liga and also Spain national team appearances to his belt, which means that he's matured. He's obviously played at a high level for a long time, and I just think that's something he's going to be able to carry on into the team and now hopefully transition on to, of course, the Premier League and to Arsenal. So that's another thing I really like about Mosquera, is of course the fact that he's quite experienced despite being so young. He's so experienced, he's so rigid, and he's just somebody who really has done a lot already despite only being 21 years old, which I think is something that's really going to help Arsenal out. Not only that, but he's also got really, really good defensive stats. You know, he ranks near the top for quite several La Liga stats. Of course, his one-on-ones are absolutely fantastic. Like, he's so good at one-on-ones and he ranks near the top for those. his dribbles, his passes completed. He ranks quite high up in the percentiles for all of these things in La Liga, which of course is something that absolutely we love at Arsenal. Not only that, but he's also really good at aerial duels as well. We know Mikel Arteta absolutely loves players who can win their aerial duels. He's already signed some this season and last season, so he absolutely loves players that win their aerial duels, and I can definitely say that Mosquera certainly does do that. He wins his aerial duels. He's quite good at all that. So just his general defensive stats, he's got good passing, he's got solid one-on-ones, good tackling, and all in all just has all of the stuff that you would need as a centre-back, and all of those different metrics he ranks at a pretty high level in La Liga, which of course is not an easy league. La Liga is a tough league, one of the toughest in the world, so obviously it's something that's absolutely fantastic. So there you go, guys. The Spanish Revolution, as I like to call it, is continuing at Arsenal. Kepa and Zubimendi before Mosquera, and now of course Mosquera. 3 different Spanish signings this summer, so the Spanish Revolution continues at Arsenal, and that's another thing to mention. He's obviously going to have, Kepa Arrizabalaga, Martin Zubimendi, Mikel Merino, Mikel Arteta, Andrea Berta, etc., all to help him settle in, obviously as a Spanish player. There's no doubt that Arsenal is starting to become a more attractive club for Spanish players because there's so much Spanish representation at the club that transitioning onto Arsenal will be quite simple, and hopefully, obviously, he's very young, Mosquera, only 21 years old, making this sort of a big move, so of course it's going to be a massive move for him, and but I do think that all the different Spanish speakers at the club and just the general family feel of the club will really help him to feel welcome and ultimately to smash it. So all in all, I'm absolutely really happy with the signing. I think he's a great centre-back. I think for the price, it's absolutely phenomenal. The price is incredible. He's a solid centre-back. He offers great depth for, of course, William Saliba. He can learn off the likes of Gabriel and William Saliba, etc. And all in all, it's just a very solid signing, of course. Not only that, but of course, the fact that he wants to play for Arsenal is absolutely fantastic. End of the day, that's what we always want. You want a player who wants to play for you, and Christian Mosquera made it very, very clear he only wants Arsenal. He turned down several clubs, and on top of that, turned down 2 different contract proposals from Valencia, contract extensions from Valencia. And one more thing to mention is, in a similar way to Madueke, I also massively rate Christian Mosquera's mentality. And of course, again, with Christian Mosquera, his, there is definitely some adversity with this transfer. Of course, as you know, he's going to have to compete with both Gabriel and Saliba, which is no easy feat. But the fact that he's seen that adversity and gone, I don't have a problem with that. I'm happy to come in. I'm happy to learn from them. I'm happy to fight for my place. That is just the sort of elite mentality that you absolutely want, and it's brilliant to see. And obviously with Noni Madueke, his adversity was slightly different because it was extremely unfortunate with people giving him hate and stuff, which of course is really unfortunate. But with Christian Mosquera, he's showing real ambition. He's gone, you know what, I know I have to compete with Gabriel, I know I have to compete with Saliba, but you know what, I'm up for the challenge, let's go, I'm coming to Arsenal. And I just love that. I absolutely love that mentality. The fact that not only is he happy to learn from them and be a bit of a student, but the fact that he's actually happy to compete with them and try and take their place. End of the day, that's absolutely fantastic. That's the sort of mentality that Arteta and all of the fans love, and I'm really happy. So welcome to the Arsenal, Christian Mosquera. Really happy to have him here. I think his price is fantastic, and all in all, he adds a lot to the team and will really help with the depth. So all in all, really happy with the signing. Welcome to the Arsenal, Christian Mosquera. Please let me know down below what you guys think of Christian Mosquera's signing. What do you guys think? Are you happy? Are you not? Are you happy with the price? And all in all, are you happy to finally see a William Saliba backup, a very good, very competent William Saliba backup at Arsenal? So yeah, all in all, the Spanish Revolution at Arsenal continues. It's another Spanish player coming through the ranks at Arsenal. So yeah, really happy to see him. A very solid centre-back. Happy to have got him from Valencia. Of course, Valencia fans, please let us know down below what you thought of Mosquera and how you think he can help us out. And yeah, but pretty much that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for all the support recently. As always, I really appreciate it. Still more videos to come, so please do look forward to that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Have a great day. Welcome to the Arsenal, Christian Mosquera, and I'll catch you guys with another podcast soon. Bye bye.